I've been thinking a lot about what it means to be an artist. To be an artist is to be a conduit for the universe. And when we receive a spark of inspiration, it is something from outside of us telling us to follow it. And we must follow that urge. But we can't get that spark to begin with if we're locked inside of our own heads. We can't get that spark if we don't live. To be an artist is more than the act of creation itself. You cannot lock yourself inside and write madly all day or sculpt something beautiful or paint what is inside your mind if you don't live. I'm sorry, but there's no such thing as running away to the middle of the forest and never speaking to anyone again and being a mad genius with pages and pages scattered all over your floor or canvases full of your great masterpieces. Because that's not living. That's not being with the world. We are the universe. We are human beings, and human beings are social creatures, and we must experience, we must be uncomfortable, we must even sometimes be scared, but we must be in awe, we must witness. We must witness if we want to create. We must chase earthly pleasures without guilt or shame. We must accept that pleasure and pain is a part of our life because it is our job as artists to take the entirety of the human experience and translate it into something that we can all understand and take part in. So what does that mean? I can get philosophical all day, but frankly, these pretty words mean nothing if they're not attached to action that we can take to become better artists. As I was thinking through all of this, I really considered, what does it mean to live fully? What does it mean to be in the present moment and experience and listen? What does that mean to be a conduit for a universe? What does it mean to be an artist? How can we take that and put it into our daily lives? That's what I'm going to do today. I am going to discuss the ways that I myself, as a writer and an artist, have found how to live fully, how to live as an artist, and things that you can do on a daily basis to bring that into the world. So let's get started. The first thing you must do is get out of your house. We cannot lay in bed all day rotting. We cannot lock ourselves away inside our houses and expect for great art to pour from us into this physical world. I look for more ways to get out of the house, and simple things such as going to a coffee shop or taking yourself to the park, going on a little thrift trip. But my favorite way when I feel like I've gotten stuck in a rut is to look for the strangest thing that I can find happening in my city this weekend. And I'm lucky to live in New Orleans, a place where strange things happen all day, every day, on every single street corner. But I look for the strange and unusual. I look for things that may even make me feel a little uncomfortable, things that may scare me a little. And I'm not talking about putting yourself in danger, but I'm talking about things that are outside of your comfort zone. A silly, I suppose, thing that I've done recently is I joined clown college. There's a 6-week intensive here in New Orleans, and I decided to join it. It's very intimidating. It is taking everything I knew about performance and turning it on its head, and it terrifies me. And that's what I need. That's what we all need as artists. Check the community boards, because that's where the strangest things are always posted. Is there someone putting on an unlicensed performance of Twilight in their backyard? Is there a burlesque performance going on that's all based around horror movies? Is there a puppet show? We actually have a puppet theater here in New Orleans, which again, I'm quite lucky to have that sort of thing around us. But even in the smallest towns, you'll find some very interesting things going on. You never know until you start to look. You can go alone. Sometimes it's fun to go alone, but bring your friends and walk a little slower when you head home so that you can have some time to talk about what you just experienced together. But if you go alone, which I do encourage, talk to strangers. That's my next tip. As an artist, I guarantee that you will find strangers will become your greatest source of inspiration. You'll be surprised at how often strangers are willing and happy to talk to you. Stay kind and curious in your conversation, and soon enough you will be hearing some of the craziest stories that anyone has ever told you in your life. You may even meet a future collaborator or friend, but even if the conversation ends at that and you never see them again, it will have been worth it, because you will have learned from someone outside your bubble. And that is what being an artist is. It's popping your own bubble. The next one is to get off your phone. You knew it was coming, but it has to be said. A life on your phone is not a life. I know, trust me, I know that addiction feels impossible to break, but it is worth trying to break it. It is worth putting your phone in another room. It is worth putting your phone on Do Not Disturb. It is worth doing anything you can do to limit your time on your phone. Honestly, half the time, at least I find myself scrolling, it's because I feel too tired to do anything else. And the irony is that scrolling is what's making me tired, because it is frying my brain with dopamine hit after dopamine hit. Get off your phone. It is numbing you. It is numbing all of us. You cannot be an artist if you have dulled yourself. You cannot receive inspiration if you are ignoring the world around you. I don't care if your world is ugly or boring. Look at it. Stare it in the face. That is your job as an artist. Slow down. What are you rushing for? That's something I ask myself every damn day. What the hell am I rushing for? When you rush, when you go too fast, you miss the little things in your life. And those little things are the seeds that turn into great works. You miss insights, beauty, inspiration, and you heighten your own levels of anxiety when you're just trying to do everything. And when I say what's the rush, I mean it in every aspect of your life. First of all, we all have big goals. I'm assuming if you're watching this, you have big dreams just like me. And they seem far away. You sometimes even feel like half of your day is playing catch up. And so it's easy to get caught up in that anxiety, that vision that you have for your life that feels impossibly far away, that feels like you're never gonna get there. And so all you do is run and run and run towards it. And the irony is that by rushing and trying to get there as fast as possible, you miss the little moments that will actually carry you over there. By running towards them, and not just running towards them and chasing after them, but rushing after them and convincing yourself that you have no time or that you've fallen behind. That is when you forget half the reason you're doing this is the joy of creation itself. It's the joy of getting that spark of inspiration and making something. And you can't get that spark if you're rushing. So I'm looking at it from a larger perspective, but I'm also looking at it in the day-to-day. Why are you rushing through your tasks? I know, I understand. A lot of the times it feels like you don't have the time to do everything you need to do. A secret that I've learned myself is that you do have more time than you think. A lot of it's just spent on your phone. But I understand that feeling of, oh God, I don't know. I have no time to finish this, but you do. Find ways to slow down. Find ways to make things take longer on purpose. Take a different commute. Take a longer walk. When you work on your next sewing project, take the time to make sure every seam lines up perfectly. Slow down. Read a book. You have the time. And when you slow down, you'll be surprised at how many things you start to notice. My next two are combined: experiment and fail. Those are vital and essential to being an artist. You must experiment and you must be willing to fail. You must accept failure. You see this in almost every single creative field, especially if you're trying to do this as a career. Creativity and a creative career, an artist's life, the path is lined with failure. If you look at any artist, their paths are full of failure. And that may be everything from a failed audition that you believed would be the one to make your career, or a big musician who makes an album that just doesn't resonate with the public. You see it in little things. You see starts of stories that never go anywhere. You see drafts upon drafts upon drafts of poems because something just isn't working. You see it in tinkling the piano over and over and over again because the melody just isn't right how you see it in your head. You see it in missed opportunities. You have to be willing to fail, and you have to be willing to try new things. You have to be willing to walk into an audition room and open yourself up to something you've never even thought of coming out of your mouth, and accepting the fact that it may work and it may wow, and it may be, whoa, that was a choice I'd never thought of before, that's genius, or Jesus, what is she possibly thinking? You have to be willing. You have to be willing, because sometimes there will be that, wow, that was genius. But you won't know if you aren't willing to take those experiments and risks. You won't know if a scene in your novel works if you don't write it down. You won't know if a new technique in painting works if you don't try it. Playing it safe has never gotten anyone anywhere. You have to be willing to experiment. And the thing that helps remind me, you're not gonna die. This isn't gonna kill me. I may fail. It may be embarrassing. It may be humiliating. It may be so incredibly frustrated that I spent hours or even days or even weeks on something that didn't work. It may feel like the end of the world, but it never is. And as long as you are alive, you have a second chance. And I truly believe that. And so you cannot be afraid to experiment, because the experimentations are where you find the truth that you as an artist are searching for. You're only ever going to find it if you experiment, and you're only ever going to find it if you fail 100 times on the way. That's just the reality. You have to become very comfortable with failure. And even if you aren't comfortable with it, you just have to accept it. You have to accept failure as part of the process, because it is. It is part of everyone's process. How many essays do you think Joan Didion scratched out and threw away? How many ugly sounds has a singer had to make to find a new beautiful resonance inside of themselves, or a new trick that they can do on stage? You don't know. You don't see it, because you're not that artist. You are you, and you have to experiment, and you have to fail. And my last tip for living as an artist is to indulge. Indulge. It's my favorite word in the whole world. To indulge. To sink your teeth into something and hold it on your tongue. To dance to the beat of the bass that vibrates your ribcage. To sob when an opportunity gets taken away from you. To bask in the sunlight. To talk until 3 a.m. To laugh until your sides hurt. Indulge. It means to be fully in the present moment with something, and to savor it for as long as you got it, because you won't have it forever, and it may be the last time you ever get it. You don't know. So while you've got it in your hands, you will feel everything it has to offer you, the beautiful things and the bad things. Indulge in your sorrow. Indulge in your anger. Don't wallow in it. Don't let yourself sink into it so you can never return to the surface. But let yourself cry. Let yourself feel that fully. Feel the full breadth of human emotions and the human experience as it comes to you in the present moment. Whatever is happening, feel it fully. Hold on to it. Stretch it out a little bit longer, as long as you can. And then when it's over, it's over. And you let it go. And then the next thing comes along. Because that's what it means. You're indulging in everything. You see and embrace what is right in front of you. You catch that thread of inspiration and you follow it down, down, down to wherever it leads you. That is what being an artist really is. It is getting out of your own head. It is getting into the world. It is being among people. It is putting yourself into situations that are outside of your comfort zone. It is seeing things with fresh eyes. And when something happens, slow down. There is no reason to rush through it. And experience that moment fully. When you do that, something will catch your interest. Not all the time. And it doesn't have to happen all the time. You don't want it to happen all the time. Sometimes you just want to enjoy. Sometimes you just want to be in the moment, and then sometimes you'll hear something. You'll see something. And you'll say, wait a second. What is that? And because you're in the moment, you'll be able to have that curiosity to catch it immediately and to pull on it. A stranger is telling you some interesting story, and because you're right there with them, truly listening to them, something catches your interest in what they say and you ask them about it. And you go deeper and deeper and deeper, as deep as you can go. And then it turns into something. It turns into the idea for a story or a poem or a song, or you're out in the rain and it turns into an idea for a photo shoot. You swim in the ocean and the waves are crashing over you, and the sound of the waves and the birds and the people talking just a little bit down spark something. You have the craziest night of your life and it opens you up to something you never would have imagined. You end up meeting someone who becomes a collaborator. You join clown college on a whim because you knew it would scare you. And you're finding that it actually helps with your physical comedy. I never would have learned about clown college had I not followed my curiosity when I saw a little flyer. If I had been stuck on my phone in that lobby, be in the moment. That's what it's about. To live as an artist is to indulge, is to see, is to listen. Notice the use of my action verbs. If you're a creative person, consider yourself one of the lucky ones. Because not everyone feels that calling. You consider yourself or want to be an artist. An artist with a capital A. My philosophy is that you cannot be an artist. To be is a passive verb. And as a writer, passive verbs are no-go. To be an artist with a capital A, you must live as an artist. There is no being an artist. There is only living as an artist. Action verb, to live. And to live as an artist is to take action every single day. And that action doesn't have to just be working on whatever creative project you have on your desk right now. That is not what living as an artist is. It is more than that. Because like I said at the very start of this video, you cannot lock yourself away in a cabin in the woods and expect to create a lifetime of masterpieces. Because to even get the inspiration for a creative project, you must experience new things, you must be around people, you must have conversations, and most importantly, this is what everything I've spoken about sums up to, you must be fully in the present moment so that you can actually see and hear when the universe is trying to tell you something. So my request for you is to live in the present moment wherever you are, whatever you are doing, whatever life you have right now. You are an artist if you live as an artist. If you take yourself out to new experiences, if you get off your phone, if you get out of bed, and if you open yourself up to what is around you. That's all I'm asking. Live and be in the present moment. You don't have to live in New York City or Paris or London or LA in order to be an artist. You don't have to do these big flashy things. You just have to be in the present moment wherever you are right now. That is all. Thank you for watching and for musing on our vocation as artists with me today. My name is Daphne. I am a writer and artist here in New Orleans. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if there's anything else that you feel I missed on what it means to be an artist, and I didn't go really into the actual act of creation because this is more life outside of the act of creation. So if there's anything you thought I missed today, let me know. And if you liked what you saw, please subscribe. I would love to have you here. All right, I'll see you in the next one.